recording, and we are recording. Hey guys, welcome back to the DLC podcast. We're talking games, movies, all things in between. I'm Isaac. That's Jacob. That's Juicy, and that's Brent, also known as Work in Progress. The reason I went by it pretty quickly is because I'm aggravated that YouTube's not working for me right now, and we can't live
He's a
stream this.
sad boy, mad boy
We
right now.
have to do a recording instead. Brent
Well,
sabotaged us. He did his live stream, and then he went to YouTube headquarters and cut the line towards us.
I know. I just have it in for you guys. Jesus. I know. I am a jerk
All right,
who likes baths.
So, anyways, Brent and Juicy did a Sony State of Play reaction, or was it a reaction or kind of an analysis?
It was more of a discussion.
Yeah.
Discussion. Okay, that's good. So you can find that video in the link below. You can find like his channel. Check it out. Show him some love. The last video got a little bit of love. Got a dude that commented. He seemed a little aggressive, but you know what? I know he meant well. But I'll take it. We're doing that video was out for like less than a week, and we're already touching like 50 views, which is pretty good for us, honestly. So without further ado,
we've peaked. Let's move on to the next thing.
Let's move on to Mixer. Anyway, so Nintendo Direct, boys. It was, for me, it was a banger, bro. There's a lot of games I didn't care for, but I understood why people were hyped for it. One thing I did notice, doesn't it seem like there's a lot of Harvest Moon clones out there?
Let me tell you, it seemed like every game was you had to tend to your farm and your animals and interact with people. Like it'll
make Captain Planet happy.
I'm just saying, was it Harvestella or maybe Sifu? It was one that was like the last winter is coming, the last season of death, and everything's gonna die. And I was like, oh gosh, like, and it was like only you can stop the ruin, rewind time, and save the world. Tend to your farm. I'm like, what? I feel like there's more pressing matters than my tournament right now.
Yeah,
Let's see. There was. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Go
ahead. How you gonna save the world if you can't eat, Jeremiah? You gotta grow the vegetables.
You're right. You gotta grow the vegetables too.
So
apparently, we're all just into this. Now, what were you saying, Brent?
There was Story of Seasons, Fae Farm. Let's see. Was Rune Factory one of them? No, I don't know.
I want to say Rune Factory had some.
Let's put it this way. We're not gonna name them all, but let's say they took up like 25% of the Direct.
At that point, like literally, I expected Bayonetta to come out and be like, "Bayonetta, kicking ass, tend to your farm," and I was like, "Oh God, girl!" Like,
so, anyways, once I don't know what's gonna go up first. I think this may come up first, and then Juicy's video. So Juicy made a video. I tried uploading it. YouTube's not letting me upload it. So, and that video, Juicy talks about all the releases or announced games for both Nintendo and Sony. So basically, with that being out there, on this one, we're just gonna basically same as what Brent and Juicy did with Sony, just kind of give our reactions and what we liked. So if you want every game listed, check out Juicy's video. But this one's more of a discussion. So with that being said,
yes.
I'm gonna give the mic to the pony, the guy that hates every console but Sony. I'm just messing. But go ahead, Brent.
So you want to know the honest truth? I have been relatively disappointed with Nintendo for the better part of 20 years.
Wait. I'm sorry. Are you saying you don't like the GameCube?
Oh no! I said the better part of 20 years. Okay. I loved the GameCube.
Okay.
The GameCube was fantastic. I had qualms with the Wii and the Wii U. I have yet to find a game that I want to finish on the Switch. The one game that caught my eye, and this is a series that I've always kind of wanted to dive into, but the issue is that they haven't dubbed it into English, is the Altair Rises series. I have really been wanting to check that series out. Maybe I will start with Ryza 3, but it's just like I don't know if I want to sit there and read subtitles for what could potentially be like a 40 to 50 hour game when I have a hard time watching a half an hour episode of anime. But there was some cool stuff. We got a Pikmin. Pikmin 4. I liked Pikmin back on GameCube. Did we lose Isaac? He's a little choppy there in his video. But most importantly, we got a Pikmin mobile game, guys.
I thought it was new too, but Jeremiah actually corrected me. Go ahead, Jeremiah.
It's been out for a while. It's been out for a while.
It's been out for a while. So actually to preface, on Whip's channel we talked about the weird PlayStation stars that came out. It's like we're just throwing an ad. And I said over there, actually, I feel like Nintendo did something a little more egregious, and I believe that was it. When I was like, all right, Pikmin Mobile, Pikmin Go. It's like ripping off your own thing. So you just walk around and so. Oh, but and the whole time, like, okay, but this is going to tie into Pikmin 4, and it's going to be like, and what you do on Pikmin Bloom is going to be, but no, it's just, you should really try it. You see this? The guy's like, I go to Tokyo, and I'm like, oh, cool. This is useless. Like, and I really feel like that was like the dumbest thing that they released, and they made another Mario Rabbids game. If that makes you feeling better.
With the Pikmin Mobile, when I was watching it, I thought this is actually pretty neat. I like this. I never played Pikmin, and so I don't know if this is like holding up to their past games. But the fact that you told me that it's been out, and this was kind of like, okay, no one's played this. We really need to advertise this. What's a great way to do it? Let's put it next to our 5-second spotlight.
Your wife went and got a haircut and noticed you didn't notice, and so when she made dinner, she made sure to like throw down like the turkey, and also was like, and just threw her hair right on top, like, enjoy. It's like, oh, okay. So
like, check that. So some Pikmin amongst Zelda and Mario. It's Miyamoto's baby, all right, and like he takes pride in it. And Pikmin, for the most part, they have a fan base, but it's not one of those Pikmin's not one of those Nintendo games that is gonna be a banger, right? Like, it will sell.
It is.
No, it is a good game, but it's one of those where Miyamoto doesn't have to push Zelda to the forefront for you guys to be like, oh my god, it's Zelda. Or with Mario. Pikmin, it needs that nudge just so people will be like, oh yeah, Pikmin.
Which is weird because when Pikmin 2 came out, like, so many people were so excited for it.
Yeah.
And then Pikmin 3 came out and so many people were so excited for it. And honestly, I would say when Pikmin 3 came out, the hype died pretty quickly.
Yeah, no.
Like, I'm assuming it flopped. Like, the Pikmin. Well, I never played any other Pikmin.
3 was a Wii U game, was it not?
So I think so.
That's what kind of hurt it. And then
I thought they were supposed to port it to the Switch.
They did. No, it did, and it didn't do that well. It did okay. And
the damage was already done.
Yeah, and people thought because of that, like, it's gonna die. But Miyamoto's like, I'm not letting this die because he loves the whole concept of it. So
it blew up huge, especially on the GameCube. It blew up huge. Like the Pikmin game still is expensive for the GameCube.
Yeah. So my thing is, I would like. Oh, what?
Wasn't Pikmin 1 a launch title for GameCube?
I
don't know. It might have been. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it was one of the games that helped shoot the console up.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it blew up that much.
Right, but just to finish my thought, with Pikmin, with the mobile game, and then saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, we have Pikmin 4." I thought that was the least hype announcement of a new game going to a franchise. Don't you think that? Like, no one was like, ah. I think with them showing the mobile game, people showing the mobile game, and people were like, oh god. And then
Like
Pikmin 4
Jeremiah
like,
brought up a good point. Jeremiah brought a good point because when they were like, now our main announcement, and all you see is Pikmin 4. Like, there's nothing else.
yeah, I think they're just working in development. One thing I would have liked to see though, since they ported 3, and I've always wanted to play Pikmin 1 because we had this friend from church that he had it, and I never really got to play. I saw him play, and it looked fun. It looked like a good time. So I was always hoping, like, if you're gonna announce Pikmin 4, you'd be like, yo, we're all supporting 1 and 2. Like, you don't even have to like remake it or anything to make it HD and call it a day, right?
Right.
But for that announcement, I was kind of like, because a lot of people were expecting an F-Zero return. But one thing I want to throw out there, me being a Zelda fan, and I'm not even gonna talk about the too much on the Tears. Was it Tears of the Kingdom or something like that?
Mhm.
It looked cool. I'm not gonna lie. It looked kind of tight. I kind of like the way it looks, but why is Kirby getting more love than Zelda?
Hold up. I don't know about y'all, but when I saw that Kirby game, I saw that you can play with your
I was
friends.
hyped.
I was hyped. I was hyped.
No, it looks great. It looks phenomenal. But I'm just like, I'm still waiting for Wind Waker and Twilight Princess to be ported on the Switch. Like that's a
Which it won't. So
That's fair, but to me, I feel like with Zelda, they're going a different route. They're going more open world. Kirby,
but it's its 30th anniversary too, though.
I get that, but with Kirby, bro, those mini games gave me like Pokemon Stadium vibes.
Well, speaking of that, we'll get to that too. But
yeah.
actually, let's move into that. So we're gonna bounce around, like I said. But yo, the N64 announcements, those games they announce are some bangers.
Mhm.
And so obviously, yeah, Mario Party 1 and 2. You got Pilot Wing, I think it's called, Pilot Wing 64. And then they're like, you have Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2. Now, what would be the cherry on top is if you could go to the Game Boy and it has, and that's how you play the Game Boy games, like red, blue, and yellow. Because it's you have the expansion. I mean, it's called the expansion pack, and not expansion pack. Oh yeah, it's called the expansion pack. But you need that we got the cartridge reader, and I'm just like, bro, that would be sick if they added that. But what caught everyone by surprise was GoldenEye, which has online. And honestly, the controls are gonna be terrible, but it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be a
And it's
terrible
coming on Game Pass.
online. It is coming on Game Pass,
It
but
wasn't that.
only the game and couch co-op. You cannot play online on Xbox with it right now.
I'm sure they made a deal with Nintendo with that, just so they can have it.
That's fair,
Yeah, it
Sure.
is.
and
No,
that's fair.
oh yeah, for sure, for
Mhm.
sure. And
Smart.
I'm hoping,
Honestly, with GoldenEye, it was a toss up. I thought Smash, an old Smash game, like I literally did expect like Smash Melee or something like that
uh-huh.
to be released onto that. And then with GoldenEye, I was like, well, that's a very very good, honestly better route than I was taking.
Yeah.
So what
So
do you
many
think, Brent?
people, so many people nowadays will get to experience. Okay, bear with me when I say this, and this is just me being kind of cynical. We can't deny the impact that GoldenEye has had on the FPS genre, but I think that we can all admit that GoldenEye 64 has not aged well.
Oh no, it aged like milk.
It's like
I never thought it was good to begin with, personally.
it is like I know so many people who are excited to play it for the first time who are like sort of like a younger generation, and I'm like, you are going to sit down and you are going to effing hate this game so much. I mean, you might be able to appreciate it for what it is, kinda, but like I think that, not to gatekeep, but I think the only people who can truly understand and appreciate the brilliance of GoldenEye, GoldenEye 64, are those who played it when it first came out back in the late 90s.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
But like, so I will be curious to see what a lot of these new people who have heard nothing but good things about GoldenEye will actually like, what they'll actually say when they actually get a chance to play it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are going to stream it, especially if you can play
Oh,
online.
dude, we're streaming that. That's a party game right there. We're streaming that.
I'll
Jacob-
get it
Jacob, you
if
don't
we
gotta
all
be there, bro. You're not gonna ruin my fun.
I hate that game. I
you hate-
absolutely that
You
game.
hate a lot of good things in life, and you know what? That's your burden to
Apparently.
bear. But look, here's my thing. I know we're still talking about it in the direct. I just want to throw this in there. I'm hoping this is a step forward to the release of the GoldenEye remaster that got canceled. That would be kind of cool. But that's
I mean,
a pipe
honestly,
dream.
it will depend on how it does on release, which it is coming out this year.
Mhm.
Half the games are coming out this year. The ones that are coming out this year are Pilot Wing 64, Mario Party 1 and 2, and GoldenEye. And then the rest of them, Mario Party 3, Pokemon Stadium 1 or 2, the 1080 Snowboarding, which I'm excited for, and Excite Bike 64. Never played that, but is supposed to be next year sometime.
So
Definitely with this. Go ahead.
oh, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I was going on to say, like, definitely in this, as in contrast to the Sony state of play, there was definitely quantity over quality. Because there's a lot of stuff here. It's kind of like, okay, interesting. I get to tend to farm that I've never wanted to do, but there definitely were some bangers hidden amongst them. But go
Mhm.
ahead, Brent. I'm sorry before
I,
we keep
I,
going.
I was gonna say, and I don't. I was gonna say, hopefully this triggers. This is a long shot, but I hope that I hope that bringing more popular games to that Nintendo 64 service as the Switch has will prompt them to release a the original Conker's Bad Fur Day onto
Oh.
like
Ooh, dude, you know, you
oh
know how bad PC is nowadays, man.
well
They
okay
would
I
they
just
would
want
have to make a deal with Rare, wouldn't they? And Rare is owned by
Yeah,
Microsoft right
oh
now.
yeah,
that's right huh but it's
yeah.
just like
Mhm.
what I that
Well,
multiplayer
it's
was so
possible though.
prime though
It
the
is possible,
multiplayer in Conker's Bad Fur Day was great
dude. And
anyways
it mimics Schindler's List. Okay, you cruel, cruel man.
but
Oh.
Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 that's pretty dope
Mhm.
now I mean
Those mini
I
games are
still have
sick.
mine in oh hell yeah dude
So
what
I
was
just good.
what was it the Magic Carp one where you had to
Yeah,
bounce
yeah.
Dude, the best one the ones I was best at, and Jacob could attest to this, is the one where you either play as a Scyther or the Pincer, and you got to hit that white line. That was like my best one. It could. I can't think. What was yours? I remember you liked the snake one from the Ekans on Stadium 1.
My favorite one's the licky tongue one. Where you're
That's
eating a
right.
food.
That's
yeah
right.
in
That's
Pokemon
right.
Stadium 1
And then
yeah.
dude, there was some like, oh man, they need to remake that just for the mini games alone. Because honestly, me and Jacob spent more time playing the mini games than
Mini games, yeah.
actually battling. Like we will do
Mhm.
it. Like we would make the CPU like hard difficulty, and we will still smash them. That's how like hardcore we were into it. It was a challenge though. But all right,
So
so
I want to do something pretty quick though with y'all. Yeah, so we've all watched it. So I want to see what maybe are the top 3 things you're looking for, just real quick, and then we
Good.
can
No,
discuss
I
that.
like that.
I will start because I said it first, Jacob.
Go
Sir,
ahead. Go ahead.
thank you, thank
Dang.
you,
Is this
and
what
I'm
we're
gonna let
looking for
Jacob
from
go.
Nintendo?
Like, yeah, the 3
Yeah.
that might be on your radar, like, okay, like this is what I want. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Or like the 3 things that stood
got your
out to
attention.
you.
Yeah. Of course,
Yeah,
yeah, we
that
can do
stood
that.
out to you. If it's not something you're going to play, but so 3 things that stood out: Theater Rhythm, the Final Bar Line, the Square Enix Theater Rhythm. That's number 3 on my list. Like, oh my gosh,
That was
I
my number
really
1. Okay.
no, it is not. Number 2, Tales of Symphonia Remaster.
You
I
bastard.
am looking for. I'm looking. I don't care because I'm taking away your number 1, too. Crisis Core
You bastard.
Reunion. Like those 3 right there, each one of those. To be fair, I wasn't the biggest fan of Breath of the Wild, so seeing Tears of the City, I feel like that's more just tears of the players. But
Yeah.
and to be fair, I was actually kind of let down. I was like, okay, this is it. This is what everybody's wanting. And he jumped, and I was like, oh God, okay, are you okay? Could we have talked about this? And then he hits a flying thing and
Yeah.
Tears of the City. It's like, huh.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't too impressed. I'm still gonna buy it just for the fact that I'm a Zelda fan and I want to experience it. But I mean, you guys could check we have a video that's called "Is Breath of the Wild Overrated?" So you guys go check that
And
out.
I actually will say there's two for the number 2 slot because Tales of
That's
Symphonia,
cheating.
sure.
That's
One,
cheating, Jacob.
no,
That's
I
cheating.
understand. So I'm gonna
So
do
he
an
says top
honorable
4.
mention. Is Raincode. That thing actually looked really good.
Hmm?
And so it's hard. I
All
honestly,
right.
I kind of want to try this. So honorable
All right.
mention. Go ahead though.
No, okay, so check this out. So my favorite RPG of all time, Tales of Symphonia. I'm not adding no more. I'm replacing it because of you. Okay, but just know I'm a double dip on that, and I'm a triple dip. I'm a double dip on Crisis Core also because for some reason
Oh,
I'm gonna buy Crisis Core on my PC, but I just feel like it's only right to play in handheld mode. I feel like
yeah,
I feel
buddy.
like I'm obligated to play in handheld mode. I know
I
they
can't
can.
wait,
I
dude.
know it's like a be like the crispy 60 FPS and high fidelity graphics, but I just feel like
That's
it's
part of the
unique.
charm, though, isn't it?
It is. But okay, so my number one that I'm interested in because I never got to play this franchise.
Platoon. Caught it.
No,
Boom.
no, is Fatal Frame. I've never played a
Okay.
Fatal Frame
Oh,
game. I've never played a Fatal Frame game, and Mask of Lunar Eclipse looks interesting. And it's a because the Fatal Frame is Nintendo, right? That's a Nintendo exclusive. Am I correct in that?
I don't know.
yes.
Yes. Okay. So that being their horror game, I'm kind of like outside because it's either that or the other game I would like to play from them is the other one where like it messes with you. That was on it was on GameCube and like I don't forget what it's called. But anyways, so Fatal Frame is one, right? That's one that I like to get into. Second one, Bayonetta look kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Bayonetta 3 look kind of cool, man. And I played the first one, never got around to playing the second one. But I mean, I may play just to get into the third one. And honestly, the other one that actually caught my attention, and I haven't even played the first one, but just visually, the way it looks, and it reminds me of old Final Fantasy, is Octopath Traveler 2.
That's fair. It
That's a
does look
game
pretty good.
that 'cause Octopath Traveler 1 looked amazing, but I heard like that's a very long game, and I was like, man, I don't feel like doing that. But yet here I am playing Witcher and playing Persona 4. So like, you know what? Maybe once I finish one of those games, I could pick that up. But yeah, just visually, dude, I'm like, man, if they gave this treatment to not Crisis Core, Chrono Trigger, it would be sick, dude.
Made it top down kind of 2D. I mean,
No, no,
I'd
no,
still
no,
play it,
no.
but
I'm talking about Chrono Trigger. Like if Chrono Trigger looked like that, dude, it
yeah.
would be sick, man. But those
Okay,
are mine.
so
Those are mine, though. Yeah.
Jacob, what do you got for us?
So overall, I thought it was okay. I am excited for Tales of Symphonia. I mean, that's one of the main first RPGs me and Isaac played growing up. So
The soundtrack is phenomenal.
I would put it on my list. And then Crisis Core would be also on my list because that's another game that like that Crisis. So watching Advent Children was what drew me into Final Fantasy. Like I played the original Final Fantasy VII once with a friend of mine, and I hated it. I the graphics to me were terrible. I didn't know what I was looking at, and so I didn't like it. I saw Advent Children, and I was like, man, these are the best graphics that I feel still hold up to this day. And
For an animated movie, it is fire.
yes,
It is good.
and then I saw clips of that same style in Crisis Core when I saw a friend playing it. So that got me playing it, and that really made me fall in love with the franchise. So that's on my list. But I would still say my number one game that I am so excited for is Kirby.
Metapoy.
It's the
Stay
Kirby
true.
game.
Stay true.
I never played it, so I don't have no attachment.
I never played it either. But and it's one thing like if people have watched or heard our podcast in the past, one of my biggest gripes I have about games that come out today is that there's no co-ops. And the fact that you can play with 4 people and like play like an actual game together excites me. Because I miss co-ops. I miss the fact that couch co-ops are pretty much going extinct.
Thanks, 343. Sorry, I just had to throw a jab at him.
It's true.
That's
They're going even online co-ops are hard to find unless it's like a shooter. And I get tired of
and
shooters.
Me and Jacob struggle at finding co-ops because there was a time where me and Jacob, we legit would be like, we played so many games co-op to where I feel like we played through all of them. So we're like, what do we play now? What do we play now? Like,
Yeah, like back in the 360 days, there was a lot of co-ops to play.
we played through Fear, remember? That was so much
Yeah.
fun.
Lord of the Rings. And now I feel like co-ops are just like
Hey. Don't you disrespect Lord of the Rings, all right?
I'm not, dude.
I will find where you live and steal your cat.
Oh, there we
The
go.
best one.
There we go.
Nope. They have to be the GameCube version.
Yeah, the GameCubes are better.
PlayStation 2 was still dope.
No, shut
It's
your
still
face.
dope, but
Shut your face.
GameCube.
Shut your face.
Well, now
But
that our
anyway.
attention is on Brent, like Brent, what are your three?
Okay, so Octopath Traveler. None of these aren't in any particular order. So Octopath Traveler 2. I played the first Octopath Traveler. I was a little put off by it simply because it is the long game and it can get repetitive.
Okay, so how long is it? Sorry to cut you off, but how long would you say it is?
I don't know. I think I had put like 50 hours into it when I finally was like, okay, I'm done. And I don't even think.
Oh.
No.
Oh shit.
The issue with it is in a lot of JRPGs now, the party members that aren't in your direct party will still gain a moderate amount of experience, even if they're not like in the party. In that one, none of them gained experience if they weren't in your party. However, in order to beat the game, in order to beat the game and in order to beat everybody's like story, you had to keep everybody at the same level. So you'd constantly have to be rotating, going back to areas and grinding because you had to keep everybody.
Shout out to
it
Pokemon.
Is like Canterbury Tales, like worst nightmare because it's different stories altogether. Some of them do intertwine, but it's kind of like, okay, I've gone this far with the cleric, better go to the rogue, which it didn't really catch my interest, but I guess I'm here,
But
yeah,
I know that this is Nintendo related. However, I intend on playing Octopath Traveler 2 on my PlayStation 5 for trophies.
Well,
I would play it on Switch, but Switch doesn't have trophies. And then the next one is this. Let me see, where is it at here? It's called Archives Rain Code. That one
looked good. That got honorable mention. It looks so good.
There was one with painting, like this little drawings or whatever. I thought that's kind of cool. Like playism, look kind of cool. But continue. I'm sorry.
And then of course Crisis Core. But can I just mention two things that I really need Nintendo to bring back to bring me fully back into enjoying Nintendo? That is Golden Sun. Please bring back Golden Sun.
Oh, God,
okay,
yes.
I have to give you that. Golden Sun is a masterpiece. They're both good.
It fell on the wayside of Breath of Fire, and all of it fell on the wayside of Final Fantasy and regular JRPGs.
They were ahead of their time 20 years ago. They were. And then Mega Man Battle Network. They are bringing
it back.
Thank God.
What?
Hold on. Wait. Gentlemen. Did you not hear about this?
No.
Capcom announced like 2 weeks ago that they're bringing back all of the Mega Man networks. They're doing. You know how they did with Mega Man X Legacies and Mega Man Legacies? It's the same for Mega Man Network. They're bringing them all out. They're bringing all of them out with online. With online play.
2023 on PlayStation.
That'd be good.
Well, so trophies.
I mean, at the same time, though, that's a portable game. I feel like it's a portable game.
Hey, y'all back off, Britt. He has to work on PlayStation Stars. Obviously, he's gonna need all the random digital shit they're gonna give.
No, honestly, I probably will get it on Switch because the thing is, Mega Man Battle Network is like it's a handheld game, and it is a great handheld game, and I want to be able to build again.
Hey, and check that. And you can plug it into your dock, and as you're doing it, you can say Mega Man or check in Mega Man, power up.
But we need a
Fucking
new golden.
nerds.
We need a new Golden Sun. We need a new Golden Sun.
We do.
All I'm hearing is if they do a Golden Sun, you're on. You're on board. I'll email who I need to email right now.
Yeah,
You know.
dude.
And one final thing, and Jeremiah, I'm glad you and I are on the same page as this, but like I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks Breath of the Wild is overrated.
It is.
What do you
It
mean?
is.
You and I made a video talking about it. I feel so neglected just now. I'm so
Listen,
disappointed in you, Brent.
I tried to play through Breath of the Wild, and to be fair, I respect it. I do. I was like, this is beautiful. But if I wanted to play Dark Souls in a weird, like, kind of cartoonish era, I would just play Dark Souls and then watch Looney Tunes later. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I would rather just play Dark Souls, and I really get pissed off every time my weapon breaks after 6 hits.
Hey, Juicy.
And-
Oh, wait, Juicy. You were in that video too, and you vented. So if you guys want to know what his thoughts are on it, check out that video. All right. He's not gonna give it to you here. No, you're gonna go and watch that video and hear our thoughts on that. All right. I appreciate it. Thank
I'm
you.
glad
Leave a
I'm
like.
controlled. You should never have signed that contract.
Sorry for
But,
bringing it up.
So I wanted to double check something. There's been 3 Golden Suns.
Yeah, I played the one on 3DS. It was pretty cool.
So there's only one I haven't played. I have the one for the DS. I have the original
yeah,
for the
You didn't play
Wii. It's a Wii import, and I guess I haven't played the second one. So there's
Yeah, Golden
yeah.
Sun.
I still.
So my
it's
thing
a Game
is-
Boy Advance game originally, and it is.
the
and
first 2
I
are
still
Game
have
Boy
that.
Advance. So I need to play the second one. So while I would like Nintendo, instead of like if you're not going to visit the games and start them up again, at least
Port it.
bring back a collection.
Mm-hmm. What stops them? Money, because you have it.
No,
I mean-
Nintendo does what the fans. Nintendo doesn't do what the fans want, because if the fans get what they want, and you know how many collections will be out there. But Nintendo's like, nah, y'all won't buy them. Let's make a video game about kids falling in ink and shooting ink. You know?
Listen, I know that y'all been wanting more serious and realistic games that have
Speaking
you
of
like
which, I bought-
fighting
I
and
bought the
weeaboo
game.
and anime. So how about we just make it to where you farm and play with animals?
Like,
Just
look, man. Just bring back Army Man. Make a collection. I don't know who owns Army Man these days.
Bro.
I don't know who owns Sarge's Hero, because it was 3DO. 3DO went bankrupt and it went down a pipe hole. If it's out there floating in the abyss and no one owns it, we gotta start a fundraiser and try to buy it, and then we hold on
Buy
to
the
it.
rights to it.
Buy the rights.
Buy
to
the
it.
rights to
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And then we say, Jeff
Yeah.
Bezos, give us your money to make the most awesomest game of all time.
We just
You don't know us,
we
Jeff.
need to start like a Kickstarter or something to raise money to buy the game, to be able to retouch it up, to put it on PC so people can play online.
Dude, honestly, online would be great, but just having the game storyline, like just the campaign alone, would be sick. And honestly, you know what's cool about that? Those campaigns were co-op.
Yeah, they were.
Those were co-op campaigns. That was the only way my brothers were able to beat it. They had a double team. And my favorite stage, and I still remember the code to one of them. It was Smallville without the A and all that, and the I. It was without the vowels. But my favorite stage in Sergeant Zero 2 was the pool table. I thought that thing was sick. But yeah. Anyways, bring that back. All right. Forget Golden Sun. Bring that back. It'll be easier. Trust me.
Gotcha.
That's tough.
So I think it's only fair though, since we've done all this good, we need to say like I'd say top 3, but we're getting a little long with it. Like, what is the thing that you were just kind of like in this? Like, let's be fair, this wasn't perfect by any means.
Oh, the whole fucking. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to not cuss anymore. The whole Harvest Moon games, all the clones.
And that's fair. For me, it was
Oh wait,
Resident
wait.
Evil.
I'm sorry, Resident Evil. Yeah, we gotta say one more thing real quick.
Yeah.
How did we not mention the boxing with Fist of the North Star?
Oh, that looked pretty cool.
That looked pretty
It
legit.
did. I can't believe I keep forgetting about it until it gets mentioned. Like, dude, I'm actually hyped for that. I'm
Dude,
actually hyped for
I'm
that.
actually
I'm
hyped
gonna
for
lose
that.
so much weight.
I'm sorry.
Like,
Continue what you're saying. I just thought that
no,
was
so I think
yeah.
my biggest letdown for that was the Resident Evil port. I was like, oh come on,
Yeah, the cloud.
like that's and it's in the cloud. It's gonna look so bad. There's no way. And then they're doing. I was like, and then you bring in the other three. Okay, cool, but I don't know.
Has anyone ever tried the cloud games on Switch? Because I tried it. They had the demo for Control, where it gave you the option for performance or fidelity, and I gave them both like a decent try, and I was like, yeah, this. I mean, it wasn't bad.
Wait,
You know,
which game did you try?
Control.
Control, like the game where you have like telekinesis and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that game is so like that game is so very like advanced. I'm surprised
Intense.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised that a cloud service could support that game.
Yeah. And it ran okay. But
Ran okay.
it's one of those where why would I spend money? Like why would I spend money for this? You know? It's one of
Yeah,
those,
this is not the
why?
place for that.
All I can say is Control had a hard time playing at launch. Like I loved Control. Control is one of my favorite games. But like, boy, was that game janky at launch. So I'm like having a hard time kind of grasping the fact that it could be on the Nintendo Cloud service. So pardon me.
I will
They
say
attempted.
this. Though.
No, they attempted. I mean,
I will say this though, and I could be stretching. But speaking of Breath of the Wild, Bayonetta, even Fire Emblem, the way that they looked, I feel like they looked a little too clean to be on the ordinary Switch. I felt
there
like
was actually in some of those games a little bit of clunkiness when I was watching them. That I was like, oh, I'm hoping that's just because it's streaming to millions of people and not because
yeah.
that's actual gameplay.
Oh, we get to a point, man. I'm just like, yo, look, just give us an upgraded Switch, man, because it would be nice. I mean, there are some games that run at 60 in handheld mode, but they're few and far in between. And in this day and age, most games are 60 FPS. Like I'm okay with 720 60 FPS, right? I'm cool with that. But there are some games even at 720, they're struggling to stay at 30. And I'm just thinking, how are you gonna run Crisis Core in handheld mode? Like I want to play in handheld mode, and I'm going to play in handheld mode, but I'm just Crisis Core looks pretty big and intense for the Switch. And I know some people be like, well, it could play Xenoblade and this and this and that. And I get it, but those games were made for the Switch specifically. So it was made with the intention of the Switch. Crisis Core was made to be multi-platform. And I'm sure that game was developed primarily for the PS5. So yeah, no, we'll see how that goes. But I'm just ready for a new Switch, man.
Yeah, I mean something more than the OLED or whatever. Jacob, what do you if there was something you were just kind of like,
Honestly, I mean, there's a lot of the stuff I didn't care for. Like, and it could be just that the older I've gotten, the less time I've had for video games, the less time I keep up with them. So there was like a lot of stuff that, like when I was watching it, I just didn't care for it. A lot of the farming games for sure. It was like, this is too grindy for me. I wouldn't even play this.
Hair?
No.
Oh, okay, continue. I'm sorry.
So to me, like my thing is, there's nothing like particular that I was like, this is stupid. It's just a lot of it is stuff I didn't really care for. Not that it was necessarily bad, but it just didn't draw my attention.
I mean, they definitely went quantity over quality, which is what I was
They
saying at the
did.
beginning. I was like,
They did.
Yeah, and that's what's like y'all
But
threw out a lot of stuff.
my thing is, I feel like that's just what Nintendo does.
Well, they can do whatever they want.
Is they have a lot of small projects that are just going to be coming out, and they just like quick fire them.
Well,
And to me, I get kind of annoyed with that. But I can also see the necessity because they're trying to make sure there's like Nintendo's about being family friendly, about everyone having something they can play.
Mhm. A little bit of something
And-
for everybody. Yeah.
Exactly. And I can understand them wanting to throw out like all these games because, just because this game's good for me doesn't mean it'll be good for this person. And they want to make sure to include everybody. So, but with that being said, I feel like they could have had like a spreadsheet of other games that are coming out.
well, they kind of did it at the end when they did like the whole when they just started showing the different games that didn't get full trailers.
Yeah.
But my thing is with the Switch, I feel like they have that amount of games, like those games, like because there's games on there that are so random that they're games I would expect to be on Steam that's just randomly placed there. That's someone like, oh hey, try this game out. But I think the reason that is, cause like to piggyback what you're saying, where there's a game for everyone, it's also you gotta remember Nintendo has one of the biggest what's the word like a multiple
Franchises?
no multiple people have the Switch
It's a large user base.
a larger they have a
Fan
huge
base?
user base. They have
Yeah.
a large user base to where they know not everyone's gonna like all Nintendo, like just strictly Nintendo games, but people got it for that. And amongst other things, like, hey, you know what? This is like a $10 game. It's a simple game. You know what? I'll just put it on here and take it to go. Right? It'll be because honestly, I've bought in games that were like on sale for like $5-10, and they're games I would never play like regularly. I want to buy it for my Xbox. I won't buy it for my PlayStation. I may dabble on my
yeah,
PlayStation
I mean-
on my PC, but there's games like, you know what? I'll just throw it on here because it's a time waster. You know, it's probably like a 3 to 5 hour
We'll
game.
see you with those split pad pros on that Switch. What a
Yeah,
beautiful
bruh.
thing! I love
I-
those things,
They're
man.
phenomenal.
That's how I see it too. Like I literally see Nintendo grabbing a big handful of cheese puffs and throwing it at kids with their mouths open and like, if it lands, it lands, and whatever falls down, the dogs will eat it.
Cheese
Like-
puffs are
So-
phenomenal though.
You say cheese puffs. I'm saying more like Gardettos or a trail mix. Like they grab this like
Yo,
weird amalgam of everything.
Gardettos are legit, man.
Oh,
Especially the brown ones.
Trail mix is perfect because there's like all kinds of stuff mixed into it. You just like pick it, you just throw it. Whatever lands,
But-
you know.
All right. So let's want to wrap this
Yeah,
up
but
before we
Brent,
go.
Brent, what
Oh, go ahead.
what do you hate about this?
Oh yeah, I forgot we didn't
Well,
name him yet. Shit.
Yeah, we need to, there's
I
probably more than one. We're looking for the worst, though.
you know, I'm in a similar boat that Jacob's in. I'm kind of at this age now where like my free time is very coveted. Like it's very valuable to me. So if I'm going to play something, it needs to be, if I'm going to dump 30 to 100 hours into a game, it needs to be, immaculate. And frankly, like in this, and I can say this about both showcases today, they were both on the average side of things. There was cool things in both, but overall it was just kind of whatever. I mean, I'm looking, so I'd have to, and to me, honestly, like I wouldn't necessarily, I don't understand and see the overall appeal of these open world Zelda games. I tried Breath of the Wild. I was rather unimpressed by it. So I guess I don't want to say that I hated the presentation of this new Zelda game, but what I can say is that I am tired of hearing about the hype of it, and I'm kind of ready for it to just come out so that way people can play it. We don't have to hear about it anymore. So that's where I stand on it.
Hey, real quick, you know what would have made this showcase a 10 out of 10?
What's that?
Replace Zelda with the announcement of Prime 1 Remake along with the trailer of Prime 4.
What about, okay, on the note of Metroid, what about a remake or a remaster of Metroid Fusion? Give me that and I'll be...
Ooh, I would take that.
Oh yeah.
I would take that because I think that does not get near as much love as it should.
The Fusion and Zero Mission are top tier, dude.
I love Fusion. I still have Fusion for
I
the Game
got-
Boy Color or Advance. I mean,
Advance, yeah. I got it from my buddy. He let me borrow it. I never gave it back because I lost contact with him. Anyways, all right. I think that's
Yeah,
it, man. Mr. Whip, where can people find you?
You can find me
In the same bed as
uh,
Sony, because that's where you sleep. I'm sorry, continue.
Yeah, I mean, you can find me on Instagram, whip_media_slow, and you can find me on YouTube, Work in Progress.
There you go.
That-
and,
yeah.
And Juicy, where can they find us? And what?
oh,
tell 'em how to
come
get
on.
these.
You can find us obviously right here on YouTube on Dude Let's Chat, Twitter Dude Let's Chat, Instagram Dude Let's Chat, TikTok. Jacob runs a really good show up there at Dude Let's Chat. Come hit us up sometime.
Make sure to like, subscribe, dislike if you agree with us. Leave a comment because we respond to comments. We do,
Mhm.
and you know what? I like comments because it's one step to building a community, whether you hate us or you like us.
Mhm.
Any publicity is good publicity. So Jacob say something negative about everybody. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But anyways,
They're overrated.
what's overrated?
Gamers.
Well, I mean, I don't know about all that now, but anyways, I hope you guys have
You
a
tell me
good
say
night.
something negative.
You're
Let's say
right, you're
something
right.
negative.
So make sure if you want a list of all the games that were announced for both presentations, and I think Juicy even went as far as to give you the dates. I think
Yep, all dates that are out.
all dates. So check that out. I'll make sure I have that uploaded. And it's an 8-minute video. And guess what, guys? Our average view time is close to 9 minutes. So that means it's a perfect amount of time for you to watch it. Not too long, not too short. So there you
I'm
go.
to 2 times speed it. That way it's even quicker.
Exactly.
There you go.
Oh yeah, and look out for live streams because we're gonna start doing this, and we're gonna do some Mario Party, some Splatoon 3 because I never played Splatoon, so we're gonna give that a dabble.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll go from there. But until next time, guys, have a good one.